Any team news? How's Danielle Pont? Is she a while off?
Yeah, no, she's getting close. She did a pretty solid rehab session on Thursday morning, but not this week. So she won't come back in. But we'll have one debutant. So Jess Waterhouse will play her first game for the footy club, which is really exciting. She came onto our list as injury replacement or for Jazz Hewitt, who's got work commitments this year. And she's just done really well. She's trained the house down. She played pretty well in the 2 trial games that we had at the before the season, and she'll add something. It'll be exciting.
But Danielle's still a shot at coming back to show you.
Yeah, she'll be. We'll see. Yeah, she trained. As I said, she trained pretty hard yesterday and got through a pretty decent session. It's a 5-day turn into that game, so that's probably will make it a little bit tighter. I think if it was the full 7 or 8, she might be a better chance. But we'll see next week.
That's tricky. I mean, obviously you kicked 2 straight against the Pies, but most of it was pretty good. Is it a bit of a challenge for the sort of new forward line, no error in this year, and having to adjust without DPs being there for so long?
Yeah, last week was we got the ball in there a lot, and we actually generated shots on goal, but we just didn't kick them. So, and then that made it a little bit tight down the stretch when Collingwood sort of came back at us, and we had to hang on for the last 4 or 5 minutes, and we probably didn't manage that as well as we could have. But equally, Collingwood are going all right this year, so we were really happy to come away with the win. And in terms of the function of the forward half and the back half, we're trying to get better. And we're probably not quite where we want to be, but you never are, so we'll get there.
Speaking of shoulders, need Kelly.
So subluxed the shoulder, came out, but luckily went back in really clean and had the scans. So no major structural damage other than a small labral tear, which happens if the shoulder subluxes. So she'll have to go through a little period of rehab, but there's no surgery at this point, and therefore, as soon as she gets some stability and some strength back, then she'll be available. What was really pleasing was the way that she played, particularly for she only played just over a half, but it was, she played an outstanding game for us. Not that role that she was playing doesn't always result in high possessions, but her impact in the game was really significant. So, really excited for her to be able to do that. And then really, it was unfortunate that she then obviously hurt herself. So we'll wait. But she'll get back at this season at this stage.
How did Jess take the news?
She was shattered. She didn't want to play.
They always find different reactions.
No, she was excited. She was excited, and as I say, she's been working really hard, and she's really ambitious. She wants to be good really quickly. She's in a hurry, which is great. I think she's also a little bit older. She comes from a soccer background, so it's not an 18-year-old debuting. It's someone who's played sport at a pretty high level. But she's making that transition to footy, so we're excited to see what she can bring.
So perhaps less nerves than an 18-year-old might have.
Or maybe more. I don't know. But she'll be ready. She'll be right.
The Giants still on win. I think it was a big one, albeit. What are their strengths? Do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, they got beaten by Brisbane and the Bulldogs, both undefeated at this stage. So their form line is, they had a really good win against Sydney, and last week against West Coast, they probably had some chances. They're playing a really aggressive attacking style. They're coming back through the middle and taking it on with handball receive. So I think the game will be up-tempo and exciting. And generally, when we've played them historically, like the contest has been really strong. They invest heavily in that, and they're really strong contested teams. So we'd envisage it's going to be, fierce contested battle, and then there'll be speed in the game. So that should make for an exciting contest. We'll have to match them in those areas. And historically, as I say, we've been able to match them in those areas, and that's enabled us to get over the top. But they're a good challenge.
You touched on your efficiency inside 50. Last season, that was sort of something that happened towards the start of the year, but then you managed to rectify it. At the end of the year. Does that sort of give you a bit of confidence that you sort of come back from that performance?
Yeah, accuracy in front of goal is a big part of winning, because that's how you win. But often it's about where you're taking those shots from, the opportunities you're providing to your forwards, and I don't think we've quite nailed that yet in terms of giving our forwards best opportunity in good positions on the ground. So we'll just keep working at that, and hopefully we can get it right over the next couple of months.
Do you have enough of a sample size yet, Doc, to know where you're 18-team competition?
No, not yet. No, we'll find out by the end of the 10 rounds, I reckon. Yeah. So as we've highlighted before, because there's 18 teams and only 10 games, the fixture is sort of all over the shop. So it's going to take right till the end of the season for it all to shake out. But as I think we mentioned last week, the bonus of that is that you just get to narrow the focus, look at the team you're about to play, and not really get too caught up in what's happening in other games because there's too many variables to worry about.
Is Jess Clive's niece?
Yes,
Do they have
correct.
the same, any sort of similar traits? Maybe
Got a bit of a similar hairdo.
I was going to say, mate, goldfish.
I think our fans will love watching her play. Yeah, the soccer background means that she's really adept left foot, right foot, and there's some genuine skill and some goal sense there. So the things that she's been working on are trying to bring those things to the fore, but then also what's been really pleasing, she's just trained really hard. She's lifting her pressure around in our training sessions. So no, we're really confident she'll come in and play her role.
How long has she been playing footy for?
She played one season, then went back to soccer, and then I think it's only now an SANFL season last year, and in she goes. So it's kind of she's had a bit of a patchwork of footy and soccer over the last 4 or 5 years.
And lastly, of course, Hawthorn have been a hot topic this week at AFL level, the stuff that's going on there. I think Eddie Betts came out and said that every team should be looking into their dealings with Indigenous players regardless of what's happened. Where do you sit with that? Would you feel comfortable opening up that sort of dialogue?
Yeah, I think we should be an open book. I think our club should be absolutely transparent in everything we do, and I'd be really comfortable with any. We've got an Indigenous liaison officer who really focuses on that element of our club, but it's something we can continue to get better at. We've just completed the last 2 rounds, being the Indigenous rounds in AFLW, and we're really proud of the way that we manage that. And but it doesn't mean we're perfect, and we're always looking to get better. Can we continue to grow? Absolutely. So bring it on.